Coming up on Vegas Nation Gameday, Week 1 is officially here.
Like I said, there's an energy that when the season starts, you kind of know your turn's coming right around the corner here.
The Raiders return to the City of Angels for a divisional matchup. Raiders fast takes and smart coverage coming up right now.
Powered by the Las Vegas Review-Journal, this is Vegas Nation Gameday. Presented by D&R House of Diamonds, making luxury affordable. Located in the One Summerlin building in downtown Summerlin.
Hello, everyone, and welcome into Vegas Nation Gameday. I'm your host, Cassie Soto. Can you believe it? The football season is finally here, and we are this much closer to seeing this new-look Raiders team take the field for their Week 1 matchup versus the Chargers at SoFi Stadium or Allegiant West, depending on who you talk to, this Sunday, September 11th at 1:25 p.m. There is so much to get to, so let's get to it with our opening drive brought to you by Capriotti's. Make your game day extraordinary with Capriotti's. Order now. Raiders beat writer Vinny Bonsignor joining me now from Raiders headquarters in Henderson, Nevada. Vinny, there's been a lot of talk saying that the AFC West is going to be one of the tougher divisions in football, so why not start things off with a Raiders-Chargers matchup, right? Tell me, how much of a statement do you think the Raiders need to make Week 1?
I think it's important for any team to get off on the right foot, and obviously playing a division foe in the Chargers, a team that people are talking about, in terms of being a Super Bowl contender, much like the Raiders as well, to be able to make a statement that everything that you put together this offseason, from Davante Adams to a new coaching staff, Chandler Jones, is working, is relevant and prevalent. I think it's huge that they make a statement in this game.
We've seen glimpses of what Davante Adams can do in practice these last few weeks, but soon we will see the real deal. Are you able to quantify just how much better Adams makes this Raiders offense?
I think this offense has a chance to not just be good, but prolific. And I don't think that Derek Carr has had this kind of talent at his disposal at any point in his career. When you add Davante Adams to Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow and Josh Jacobs, and then the offensive genius, basically, of a coach like Josh McDaniels, it sets up perfectly for this offense to put up numbers that fans haven't seen for a long time when it comes to the Raiders.
All right, Vinny, last one. Give me your 3 keys to the game. What's it going to take for the Raiders to get a win in their home away from home?
I think Davante Adams needs to have a big game, and I'm talking about over 100 yards receiving. I think the Raiders need to rush for about 130, 150 yards, and I think defensively they need to force at least 2 turnovers.
Flip the Field, sponsored by South Point Sportsbook. Download the app at southpointsports.com. It's time to flip the field. I'm Heidi Fang, and I'm joined right now with our Review Journal sports columnist Ed Graney to take a look behind enemy lines with the Los Angeles Chargers. Ed, coming off of last season's finale, which ended the season for the Chargers, and Brandon Staley calling a oops timeout, what do you think the mindset of this team is going in to face the Raiders?
You know what, Heidi? We hear this about the Chargers all the time, right? They're one of the best teams. They're kind of the sexy pick of a lot of people for the Super Bowl, just like they are this year. I think their mindset is just that, but they're going to have to go out and prove it. I don't know if there's revenge on their minds. Look, there's 18 games to go. I know they're opening up against the Raiders. We know what happened last year in the last regular season game where the Raiders won and advanced to the playoffs where the Chargers didn't. But I think their mindset is one that can make the playoffs deep and make a deep run and win a Super Bowl. But again, they have to prove that. A lot of teams, who are picked each year do that. They go deep and they make their runs at the Super Bowl. The Chargers haven't done that. So however they're going to get there, they're going to have to prove it to everyone that they're that good, and they're as good as what the pundits are saying.
We know that Derek Carr wants to get things going with Davante Adams, Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow. But how do you approach getting this offense going when you know that the Chargers' run defense is weak?
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. We still don't know what the Raiders' run offense is going to look like. Is it going to be a heavy load of Josh Jacobs? Is Zamir White going to get his touches? Josh McDaniels comes from a running back guy committee in New England, so my guess is going to be that way. If I'm the Raiders, and I know how poorly the Chargers were against the run at times last year, I run early and I run often and try to establish something. That's going to open up things for Davante Adams, for Hunter Renfrow, for Darren Waller. I do think it's going to be a running back by committee, but like you said, Heidi, I also think that the Raiders should at least test them early, given how the Chargers looked against the run last year. So yeah, I would hand the ball to Josh Jacobs and I would see what he could do. Zamir White, Amir Abdullah, involve all those guys, which I think they're going to be involved, Brandon Bolden and others, and see what you can get against this Chargers defense. See if the Chargers defense is different than it was last year in terms of against the run.
Not much of an injury report this week for the Raiders. The page is clear. It's blank. They've sent out all week. No injuries to report. Everyone is practicing in full. No game day designations. It's the kind of thing that could only happen in week one of an NFL season before you get to the wear and tear of a season. And it's a good problem to have for Josh McDaniels in his first game as head coach of the Raiders. He's got everyone at his disposal, and he spoke about that.
You know, we battled like everybody does. We battled through training camp. You know, I mean, guys obviously, you know, get little bumps and bruises and sore and all that, but you know, we've had enough periods of time and where we've tried to, you know, gain some rest here and there. You know, we have a healthy team right now. Knock on wood.
So Josh McDaniels has all of his players at his disposal as he gets ready to set his game day roster against the Chargers. The opponents not so fortunate. They had a very bad pass defense last year. They tried to fix it by signing J.C. Jackson, the best free agent corner on the market, and it looks like he's not going to go against the Raiders. So that vaunted Raiders passing attack will have one less opponent to go against in the secondary with the absence of J.C. Jackson. With your injury report, this is Adam Hill.
D&R House of Diamonds is Las Vegas's elite private office jeweler, the perfect bridge between internet pricing and a traditional brick-and-mortar jewelry store. We specialize in loose diamonds, natural and lab-grown, engagement rings, fashion jewelry, custom design, and jewelry repairs. We operate by appointment in our beautiful offices in the One Summerlin building, downtown Summerlin. Our great relationships with the world's largest diamond wholesalers and our low overhead saves you hundreds, if not thousands, on your purchase.
With Capriotti's, game day is always extraordinary. Fuel your passion with our award-winning cheesesteaks, in-house oven-roasted turkey, and classic subs. Or create a fan frenzy with our catering trays that are perfect for any crew. At Capriotti's, we deliver extraordinary to you.
Listen to the Vegas Nation podcast 3 times a week, featuring Vinny Bonsignore and Sam Gordon to kick off the week with First and 10. In the middle of the week, catch Heidi Fang's takeaways, and rounding out the week on Fridays is Ed Graney and Adam Hill with Unsportsmanlike Conduct. Subscribe to the podcast and check them out as well on VegasNation.com and the Vegas Nation app, all powered by the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Vegas Nation, fast takes, smart coverage.
Welcome back to Vegas Nation Game Day. I'm your host, Cassie Soto. The Raiders have selected 8 players to captain the team this season. Representing special teams are A.J. Cole and Mac Hollins. On defense, Max Crosby, Denzel Perryman, and Daron Harmon were selected as captains. And on offense, Colton Miller, Devontae Adams, and Derek Carr will wear the C on their chest.
Finally, football is back, and for the Raiders, that means a trip to SoFi Stadium for a date with the Chargers in an immediate rematch of the final regular season game of 2021, and it's Devontae Adams' first game in silver and black. He arrives in Las Vegas after 8 years in Green Bay and at the peak of his powers as the most complete receiver in the league. In the last 2 years, Adams has averaged 97.6 receiving yards per game. That's tops among all wide receivers. Only Viking star Justin Jefferson totaled more yards in the last 2 seasons than Adams, who posted 2,927 in 2020 and 21 and led the NFL during that span with 29 receiving touchdowns. He's averaged 10.6 targets per game in the last 2 years. That's tops in the NFL, and he garnered a passer rating of 125.3 when targeted in 2020 and 2021. That's better than the NFL single-season record of 122.5. On the other side of the ball, pass rusher Chandler Jones is also making his Raiders debut as one of the most prolific sack artists of his era. Jones has tallied 107.5 sacks since debuting in 2011, second to only Bills star Von Miller in that time frame, and his sacks have cost teams 745.5 yards. That is the most in that time frame as well. He also leads the NFL with 33 forced fumbles in that time frame, and that's a couple of big debuts in LA to begin the 2022 season. I'm Sam Gordon. That's the story by the numbers.
Here at Vegas Nation Game Day, we like to bring you Raiders fast takes and smart coverage, but this season, we thought we would bring you a look at the betting lines ahead of each Raiders matchup. With more, here's sports betting columnist for the Las Vegas Review-Journal, Todd Dewey.
Thanks, Cassie. The Chargers open as 4-point favorites over the Raiders in this one back in May. The line dropped to 3.5 at Circa Sportsbook after a sharp bet on the Raiders at +4, moved the line down to 3.5. The number has stayed there since then until this week when the number dropped to 3 at Circa after more sharp money on the Raiders. The books are split on this one as Raiders bettors can grab 3.5 at the Westgate Superbook, BetMGM, and South Point. And Chargers bettors can lay 3 at Caesars, Circa, and Stations. The Raiders are plus 155 on the money line, and the total is 52. Books are going to need the Chargers and under in this one, as 67% of the tickets at Station are on the Raiders on the spread and money line, and bettors are pounding the over. 76% of bettors at Station are on the over, the biggest total play left on the board. Remember, in the AFC West, which is considered by many to be the toughest division in football, the Raiders are still the long shots to win behind the Chargers, Chiefs, and Broncos.
As the Raiders prepare for their first game of the season, another Las Vegas team is preparing for its shot at a championship title. The Aces are headed to the WNBA Finals for the second time in 3 seasons and hope to bring the first championship banner in franchise history to Las Vegas. The Aces will face off against the Connecticut Sun in a best 3 out of 5 series beginning Sunday, September 11th at 12 p.m. So owner Mark Davis, who owns both the Raiders and the Aces, is definitely going to have his hands full come this weekend. That's a wrap for this week's Vegas Nation Game Day. For more Raiders news, you can head on over to vegasnation.com. Once again, the Raiders are heading to LA to take on the Chargers. Kickoff is set for 1:25 p.m. Pacific time. For our entire Vegas Nation crew, I'm Cassie Soto. We'll see you soon.
Powered by the Las Vegas Review-Journal, this is Vegas Nation Game Day. Presented by D&R House of Diamonds, making luxury affordable. Located in the One Summerlin building in downtown Summerlin.